Isiah Thomas, the man that beat Michael Jordan 36 times. I'm here today to discuss the fact about how underrated he is. Some people would even make the argument that he's not even the best person with that name. Not too long ago, ESPN released a list of the top 74 players in their opinion, and Isiah Thomas was the 31st on that list. Players rated above him on that list include players like Steve Nash, Allen Iverson, John Stockton, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Dwayne Wade, Kawhi Leonard, David Robinson, Charles Barkley, Elgin Baylor, and a bunch more that I won't name right now. Let's compare Isiah Thomas's stats to Steve Nash's. Some people think that Steve Nash is the best point guard ever. In Steve Nash's whole career, he averaged 14 points and 8.5 assists. Overall, he shot 49%, 42% from the free throw line, 90% from the line, which are all great. In my opinion, Steve Nash's best season in his career was the season in 2006-2007 with the Phoenix Suns. He averaged 18.6 points and 11.6 assists. That year, he was the runner-up for MVP right behind Dirk Nowitzki. He had won it previously in the 2004-2005 season and in the 2005-2006 season. Now I go over to Isiah Thomas's career stats. In his whole career, he averaged 19 points and 9.3 assists. He shot 46% overall and 75% from the free throw line. In my opinion, Isiah Thomas's best season was his second season in the NBA. He averaged 22.9 points, almost 23, and 7.8 assists. He shot 48% overall and 71% from the free throw line. Right now you might be thinking, oh, he might just be better at scoring. Everything else Steve Nash is better at, including free throw percentage and stuff. I'll give you that for free throw percentage and overall shooting percentage, but not for assists. In Steve Nash's 18-year career, he averaged the most assists in the 2006-2007 season. He averaged 11.6 assists. In that season, Steve Nash played 76 games, started all. Thomas's fourth season, he averaged 13.9 assists. The previous season, he had averaged 11.1. After his 13.9, he had 10.8 and 10.0. Isiah Thomas played 13 seasons in the NBA, all with the Pistons, compared to Steve Nash's 18 with 3 separate teams. I would guarantee if Isiah Thomas were to play out his whole 17, 18-year career, he would have been on the top of all those assist boards like John Stockton and Steve Nash. That's my argument on how I think that Isiah Thomas should be higher than Steve Nash on the list. Now I'll move on. Next on the list is Allen Iverson. I actually agree with the fact of Allen Iverson being higher than Isiah Thomas. I actually think he's too low on the list, but I'll get to that a different day. Then after that is John Stockton. John Stockton scored similar to Steve Nash. His high scored season was 17.2 points. We've already went over Isiah Thomas's scoring stats, so he's clearly a better scorer than him. But when it comes to passing, John Stockton's out of this world. He's clearly a better passer, probably the best passer in NBA history. The thing in my eyes that puts Isiah Thomas over John Stockton is his defense. If Isiah Thomas could have played an 18-year career, he could have possibly had 22,581 points, which is 32nd. Right behind Kevin Durant and in front of people like Clyde Drexler, Gary Payton, and Larry Bird. That is almost 4,000 more points than he actually did, which was 18,822. In real life, in Isiah Thomas' whole career, he had 9,061 assists, which was 9th place. Right below people like LeBron James, but higher than Gary Payton and Andre Miller. If he had played an 18-year career, he would have had 11,431 possibly. That would have landed him third in all-time assists, behind John Stockton and Jason Kidd. From the research I did today, it seems the only reason Isiah Thomas is underrated is because of the injury that caused him to only play 13 seasons in the NBA. In those 13 seasons, he put up some great stats. He matches up with some people that played 20 years. Looks like the only reason he's underrated is because of his injury. Sadly, IT didn't get to reach his full potential. He was still great, though, in all the years that he actually did play. Several sources also said Isiah Thomas was ranked too low in the ESPN ranking. We're all just here left to wonder how Isiah Thomas' career would have panned out if he didn't tear his Achilles at one game. When we thought of best players in the 90s and 80s, we might have thought of Isiah Thomas instead of thinking about Michael Jordan. that wraps up this video, guys. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to comment down below if you would like to see more of these NBA news videos.